I asked someone a week ago, like, how much is America in debt? And they were like, this many trillion. And then I asked a rhetorical question, but the dumbest question I've ever asked myself. I said, well, how much does the earth cost?
It's not a bad question.
But
how much is the earth worth?
Yeah,
right
what is the earth
Everything.
worth?
All the things on earth.
Yeah. And it's saying we can't buy it. We couldn't make enough money to buy the earth, right? So that means we made money. So if money is the key to all people's happiness and will solve everything and everyone's doing things for money, let's just make more money. But it's not about making more money. It's about keeping poor people poor and rich people rich and keeping people in their place. And right now, we're experiencing the fall of Rome, or the Titanic has now hit a glacier. And there's people who would prefer to go down with the Titanic than to get on a lifeboat because they don't want to get seawater on their dress or on their nice outfit. People are so programmed and brainwashed into classism and protectionism that it's difficult for people to embrace innovation unless it has a tag on it that's got a name brand connected to it that says, with this innovation, you will be better than the person, you'll be better than your next door neighbor. When I made Sunday Service, I completely stopped rapping because I didn't know how to rap for God. All my raps always had like nasty jokes on it. And then, I made when I went to the hospital, I know you want to get into this. When I went to the hospital in 2016, I wrote Start a Church in Calabasas. And as we left from 2018 going into 2019, I said, I'm not going to let one Sunday go by without starting this church. And there's people who said it wasn't a church and different things, but to start a ministry, I'm like the little drummer boy where I'm saying, this is all I got to bring, my drum. I might not be well versed in the word, but I know how to make music, and I know how to put this choir together, and all things can be made good for God. So it quickly became the best choir of all time because all the best singers moved to California. And now, but a lot of them grew up in the church. So it's like the opportunity for them to actually get paid singing for God because I would be funding it. And that for me was like a tithe for me to fund Sunday service. And I was 4 months in before I gave my life to God. Like I wasn't saved. It's just I had a calling saying, just go make this church. And the whole thing, the comparison to this church to me going and saying, okay, why am I running for president, is to be in service. And that service to my own ego. I feel like God says to me, like, haven't I given you enough? And I gave you an ego that helped you overcome all these, roadblocks and smoke screens and people telling you what you can't do. Now you need to realize when you're doing things for your ego and when you're doing things for me. This is like God. What I feel God is saying to me. Because it really irritates me when people say, God told me to tell you. So I'm very mindful with this kind of wording. I'm saying I have a feeling that that's what God is saying for me to be in service. So the ultimate service position is leader of the free world, to be the president of the United States. It's sometimes you see me on Twitter, I'll say, I want all the smoke. I want all the problems, because the problems are the opportunities. There's an opportunity to solve things. And Kurzweil, he created the keyboard Kurzweil. He has this video that Mark Romanek, this director that shot 99 Problems for Jay-Z, which is like my favorite, maybe like top 5 or top 2 favorite videos of all time. He also did Closer for Trent Reznor, and I just grew up on MTV in the 90s, and